Let's go to Tempe. Don, you're up. Tempe, Arizona. Hi, Don.
Hi, George. I've got a great story for you. One day, as I went home to see my parents, I was out of high school, but I was familiar with the kids in the neighborhood. Well, there was this one kid right down the corner. They just got back from playing basketball, and he was by himself. And I thought to myself, he's really kind of strange, like me. He doesn't involve himself much with people, and I knew him because he was associating with a much older group like myself, in and out. And I went down and I said, I've noticed that you're just like me. I said, I've got a secret, and I know that you have a secret, and I want to know what that secret is. And he looked at me, he says, do you really want to know? And I said, yeah. He says, you come to my house at 9 o'clock, 9:05 Saturday morning. So anyway, 9:05 Saturday morning, I went to the house, knocked on the door, and I walked in. In the middle of the room is a xylophone. And we walked through the house to his bedroom. And his bedroom was really kind of Spartan, just a bed. He had a drawing table, and he had these huge racks with bound books. And I looked at him and said, Jim, what are these? He says, I draw cats. I said, you do? I said, how long have you been drawing cats? He says, well, I started drawing cats when I was 4. But he says, at 6, I settled on one cat. And he says, all these bound books here are cartoons, and they're ready to go to press. I said, Jim, that's a lot of cartoons. I said, how many years you think you got there? He says, about 25 years. This kid's 13 years old. And I said, Jim, once you start publishing, I said, you're going to become famous. He says, yeah, I know. He says, my mother's brother is a lawyer, and he's got it set up so that I have a story so that nobody will ever interrupt my privacy. And he says, I'm going to have a boat up in a boathouse in San Francisco, and la-di-da-di-da. But anyway, everything was to guard his privacy, and that's at the age of 13. The guy, he was Jim Davis.
I knew it. I knew that's where you were. I was hoping that's where you were going.
And the dog, O.D., is named after one of my very best friends, Terry, her dog.
That's great.
So I just wanted to share that, and I asked him that day. I said, Jim, have you ever gave away an autographed cartoon? And he says, no, nobody's ever asked me for an autograph. And I said, would you give me a cartoon and autograph it? And on it put the very first autographed picture of your cat.
That's cool.
And so I had that picture for years and years and years, and my mother resented that picture. And even when Jim first got his first 8 papers, then it went to 15, then it went to 78 newspapers that was carrying his cartoons.
Yeah.
Eventually, she got so aggravated at that cartoon on the wall, she ripped it down and threw it away.
No.
Yes.
Oh, Mom.
Well, anyway.
All right.
That's a geek story.
Thank you so much for sharing this story, because this is a perfect example of quirk theory, which is what this book is all about. Here is somebody who was considered strange when he was a kid, and his secret was that he drew cats, and that made him strange. And you know what? He became beloved because he drew cats. So quirk theory comes back again.
It does. Jess from Tennessee.